following podcast is recorded and produced by the Podcast Precinct in affiliation with the network at bicbp-radio.com. The Podcast Precinct. Consistency, creativity, culture.
That's the theme tonight at Fenway Park. The Red Sox ready to officially retire David Ortiz's number 34. It's the team's highest honor and the ultimate tribute for one of the greatest hitters ever to wear the Red Sox uniform. We have team coverage tonight, starting with WBZ's Dan Roach, where Big Papi just spoke there. Roachy.
Yes, he did, and what a special night in Red Sox history. I scooted back here from Fenway Park. Hi, Liam. It's a special night in Red Sox history as they retired the number of David Ortiz. Now, prior to the ceremony, the Sox made the simple mistake today of leaving the number 34 uncovered. But eventually, it was covered back up and then unveiled during a special ceremony. A lot of special guests, lots of memories for David. And afterwards, he was asked if that ceremony lived up to its billing.
I think it was way beyond what I thought. I mean, this is in a stadium where by the second inning is when, if we're going to have a full house, by the second, third inning is when you really see a full house. By walking out there and seeing it wasn't an empty seat. It made me feel like, like one of those important games that we have where the fans want to be there, from the very beginning and show some love and support, and it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, amazing, the right word. You could feel the energy inside Fenway Park from the moment the ceremony started all the way through. Only the energy that Big Papi can bring. He's the 10th player in Red Sox history to have his number retired. Pretty far outside Fenway Park. I'm Dan Roach. Julie, let's go over to you.
Hello, everybody out there in retro sports world. Welcome back to the Retroactive Sports Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Andrew Lunds, and joining me always, Johnny Townsend.
That's me.
That's him.
That's me.
And
what if I was just a soundboard?
No,
that's me.
We don't need a soundboard because Johnny makes all the sounds.
I'm a Foley artist on the side. People don't know this. Here's my helicopter. That's either a helicopter or a transformer. It got stuck halfway transforming.
Lost. There was an episode of Transformers Prime where Starscream lost his T-Cog, and the T-Cog helps him transform.
Oh, God. He got older. That always happens when you get older.
You lose your T-Cog.
Yeah, you lose your T. You don't transform as well.
Yes, but
or you only have like one transform in you for the night, and then you're done.
Somebody that saw Transformers, the new movie Beast Wars. There you go. See, there's my transition. Joining us today is Matt Johnson.
Hi.
I don't even know what podcast anymore.
I'm semi-retired.
It used to be like
everything. I forget.
List.
No, I like it.
You still write though for a football site.
Yeah, I do a blog when I feel like it, which is cool.
Yeah. I was trying to help you plug it.
Yeah.
For Tank Talk, they're actually part of our network. They're really good dudes. So shout out to them. But yeah, I slowed down about it a bit. I don't really do podcast. I like the whole cameo thing. It's a lot less stressful.
He does this. Yeah, Matt just does cameos now. Really expensive. If you want to get a cameo for Matt. But also make sure you check out that blog. He just did one about where's Aaron
Rodgers?
Where's yeah. It was pretty great. I was a big fan of the Pokemon one.
We've all gotten lost and got a dead battery from playing Pokemon Go. So
yeah.
We also plugged the web pages. God, you can see that's why you can't call me a boomer, because then I revert to that. Facebook pages.
Yeah.
Last episode.
Yes. Thank you for that. Yes, I've been doing these little Facebook pages and Instagram. Just something to do. To keep busy and just NFL players in other jerseys, NBA players in other jerseys, MLB in other jerseys, NHL, pro wrestlers and other gimmicks. And the new one I just started up last week is video game characters and other video games.
Yeah, I love that one.
Thank you. I needed something new, so I can't wait to just shoehorn something else into a Facebook and Instagram page. But it's kind of nice. I don't really have time to read or play video games right now, so just coming up with a quick little post and getting a picture and a video once a day for each of these pages. It's a lot of fun. So thank you guys for your support first and foremost, because I know I can ask you guys any day, hey, give me a basketball player. Hey, give me a baseball player. Hey, give me a wrestler, whatever it is. And you guys come through. So I appreciate you for that.
Oh, you're quite welcome always. I don't know why they reminded me of this, but one time on the old Retro Bliss, Trevor and I were covering a basketball game and a video game, and Tony Kukoch's name came up, and Trevor pronounced Kukoc as Kukok, and I never got over that.
Oh,
it was a greatest day of my life.
Honestly, if I didn't go find a video clip of him, I probably would have did the same thing.
Yeah, good old Tony Kukok.
Matt used to mispronounce Dave Craig's name, and it used to. I don't know why it's Dave Craig. Like, I love you, Dave Craig. You're Dave Craig, and I don't know why it was like nails on a chalkboard for me when we did 2 Point, and he would always call him Dave Krieg, and I'm like, Craig.
It's literally spelled like Krieg.
It did. The guy had a very rough life. Okay, he didn't even his first starting lineup was the head of Dan Fouts because Dan Fouts retired.
Oh, boo-hoo. You got royalties. Oh, my God, my head's wrong.
I wonder if Dan Fouts got royalties because they used his head, too.
The both should get it, really.
Yeah.
Technically speaking, I agree.
But Andrew, what are we doing today on this? Why did we bring Matt in? Why did we say, Matt, you have a day off, we're making you work?
Well, this was your idea.
Oh, I'm taking all the blame for this. Sorry, Matt. But
this was your explain what we got going on.
All right, so what we're going to do is we have 3 sports here that we're going to be representing each, and we're going to bring up a player, and we're going to decide if that player should have a team retire their jersey, basically. So these would be all players who have not had their jerseys retired yet.
Oh, I thought it was Hall of Fame.
Oh, it could be either one.
Jersey. Oh, it could be. I thought we were going to save Hall of Fame for later. I did jerseys.
I did Hall of Fame.
We could kind of do both, honestly. It doesn't really matter. They're sort of linked, really.
Okay.
I thought we were doing jerseys.
I was completely under the impression it was Hall of Fame, so that's
probably some guys that think. I got guys on here that probably. Oh no, some of are actually in the Hall of Fame, but they don't have their jerseys retired. Or they're definite Hall of Famers.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
You guys want to try again next Saturday?
No, we got this. We're going to go through it.
We're going to go with it. This is as bad as the panel discussion when I messed up that truth game.
Which was your idea.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
No, I misread. This is on me.
It's all right. We can still run with it. So
I can work on the fly.
Maybe their number could be retired because there's some guys not in the Hall of Fame. So we'll just kind of go with either one.
Yeah.
We could always do a part 2 stuff.
Yeah, at some point. All right. So obviously I'm doing NBA basketball.
Matt is going to do football.
That's correct.
And I've got double duty with baseball and hockey because neither one of these guys, I think, really care too much about either one.
I know Wayne Gretzky.
I know I blew Matt's mind when I gave him the Wayne Gretzky when he was in the WHA and played for the Indianapolis Racers.
Oh, man.
Never professional hockey team.
Oh, man.
He definitely got his number retired.
Oh, well, for sure. One of the goats of hockey.
All right. You want me to?
Andrew, I think you should start since you're doing double duty. We'll start and end with you. We'll go you, me, Matt, then you.
Yeah, because I'm gonna do the old switcheroo. I'm gonna play along. I got this.
Okay.
I believe in you.
All right. So my first one is Albert Pujols, which I was shocked that they don't have this already. From what I could tell, they don't already have this in plans to retire his number. Geez, Albert Pujols was a monster, and I believe he should get retired with the St. Louis Cardinals, not the Angels, because that was bad Albert Pujols. But just alone with the St. Louis Cardinals, he had 469 home runs and had 1,397 RBIs. And what's his career average with them? Damn, he batted 326 as a Cardinal. Also led him to a World Series victory and another World Series appearance where he lost to the 2004 Red Sox. Oh, 2 World Series he's got with them. 3-time MVP with them as well, Gold Glove winner. I mean, his resume kind of speaks for itself when it comes to a St. Louis Cardinal. He was the face of the Cardinals from 2000, pretty much, well, after Mark McGwire left, around in that area to 2011.
Yeah, I mean, that's a name that I obviously even know. So I kind of think if it's a name that I know, then it's really wild if he doesn't get his jersey retired to me.
I'm quite familiar with his name, and I associate him, very well with it. I would have to agree that it should be retired with the Cardinals.
Yeah. So I think we're all in agreement here. Albert Pujols, you have made the our shows. We're retiring your jersey on our show, if anything else.
Your number 5 Cardinal jersey.
All right. I'm going to start with a biggie. Of course, he's still somehow playing despite almost being 40, and no matter what you think about him. First bout Hall of Famer for sure. LeBron James. We're going to right off the bat, still playing. Literally has won a championship for every team he's ever played for. That's pretty impressive. And doing so as the main guy on each of those teams. His career, here's his career averages, which is pretty impressive. He's played 1,492 games as my cat jumps on my laptop and scares the living crap out of me. I need you to get off the laptop, girl, please, and thank you. She's stirring me off. I need you to. You have to cut this out, Andrew. I don't know what she's doing here.
Oh no, I'm leaving this in.
Oh, good cat content.
Other than like the last thing, I'm leaving this in.
What are you doing, girl? What is it? Are you here to talk about LeBron James?
She's a hater. She doesn't want to.
She might be. And now she's messing with my phone. Please get off the phone, girl.
See?
Thank you. Girl, what you doing, girl?
Your cat is a LeBron hater.
She might be. You're ruining this for me, girl. I guess she's going to stay up here. All right, he's played over almost 1,500 games. It'll be 1,500 games this year. Averaging for a career 27.1 points, 7.5 boards, and almost 7.5 assists. That's pretty impressive for a 20-year career, really. And I gotta say, one of the guys who actually exceeded his hype, and he was super duper hyped. The question for me, though, the reason that I included him on this, because I think everybody knows whether you hate or like him, he's going in the Hall of Fame. But the question is, will he have his jersey retired, and by what team?
I think it's the Cavaliers first, and then way down the line, you're probably looking at the Heat.
Well, I was going to say the Heat first because they retired Michael Jordan's jersey, so they'll retire anybody.
Yeah, but he kind of left that mess. He left that messy.
Well, I think as long as Pat Riley is there. Yeah,
I love Matt Riley.
Pat Riley's great, but Pat Riley and LeBron seem to have a weird relationship. So maybe while he's still there in charge, that might be a problem. But yeah, I think he's definitely going to have his. I don't think. Do you think LA retires his jersey?
I don't know the way that they've been riding him. Let's just say.
I'm going to. What if they're like, hey, we would retire your jersey, but we drafted your son?
I think that's way to get out of it. The thing with LA is like there's so many great players that played for the Lakers. Not saying anything bad about LeBron, but if you look at the numbers that the Lakers have retired,
yeah,
like they had tons of success there. Like not say, this has not been the greatest run for LeBron James in LA. I mean, yes, he won a championship and then the Mickey Mouse one where he won the in-season tournament, but I don't count the in-season tournament for anything. But other than one championship, it's been a messy slide from there on out.
It hasn't been great, but I don't know. The Lakers were really, really bad for a long time. For a little while, like it was kind of towards the end of Kobe's run and in between.
Yeah.
And he did make the Lakers like good. Like I was just watching another compilation video of Charles Barkley and Shaq, and it was like some kind of NBA League Pass, and it was like the Bucks and the Lakers, and those two teams are pretty prominent again, like right now. But this is from a couple years ago, and they were charging like $6.99, and he was just roasting. He goes, he's like, you'd have to pay me to watch this game like that. LeBron going there changed the culture for the better. Is it his best run? Maybe not, but I'm kind of in agreement with Cleveland should be the first one.
Yeah. I mean, he's from that area near there, so it does make sense to me that they would be the first one to retire. But I do think it'll be at least two of those teams will retire his jersey after his career's over.
Well, I just looked. The Lakers retired Chamberlain's number, so there's a possibility.
Yeah, there you go.
But if you look at everybody else's number, it's like Lakers royalty.
Oh, yeah. All right, Matt, who's your first on yours?
Okay, so my first one is I think it's gonna be the only homer one I got. I got two down so far, so I'm
okay.
The audible I'm going through right now is
Omaha.
I gotta pat myself on the back for that. Again, I apologize. So the first one is a Colts quarterback, a former Colts quarterback who's infamously retired an hour after I drafted him in fantasy football. But he retired the year he retired at the age of 30. No, before he was 30. So his last playing season was 29 years old. His name is Andrew Luck. Okay, he was the number 1 overall draft pick in 2012, and he really took the league by storm. For those who aren't really aware by Andrew Luck, he took a 2-14 team to 11-5 in the postseason. His first 3 years, winning, I think they won the division one or two of those years. But it was an incredible run. He retired with 86 games played, a 53-33 record as a starter, 60.8% completion percentage, 23,671 passing yards, 171 passing touchdowns, and 83 interceptions. He also was a 4-time Pro Bowler, 2018 and 2018 Associated Press Comeback Player of the Year. So there's like a hot and a cold thing because a lot of Colts fans are bitter that he just kind of did it before the season, that he just kind of retired. But there are a lot of good years within the years that he did play. He overcame a lot of stuff, a lot of bad rosters, and led teams, the team beyond. But there's this a debate whether he should be like honored by the team. For those who don't know, too, it was announced during the middle of a preseason game, and the crowd started booing when he left the field. That's how like just pissed they were that it happened when it did. And I don't know. it's tough. I understand you got to make the decision. You know, he had to make the decision for him, and I fully support him. But I understand fans being like, "Really, 2 weeks before the season, you want to do this shit? You want to retire right now? Come on, give me a break." So, oh, Johnny, you're muted, buddy.
Yeah.
There we go. Sorry, still dealing with the cat. Yeah, you would think he would have at least thought enough to do that like during the off season, so the team would know where they were going at least, or have an idea to work on a direction. Without him, but he is a big name, and I remember being shocked when he retired. So, man, I think you're right. It all depends on how that team feels about him, don't you think? Like, if he hadn't, let's just say that he had retired and gave them a heads up well before the next season, I don't even think this is a question. I think his jersey gets retired.
I'm kind of in that camp too. Again, I think after some time has passed and maybe the team finally gets on track, that they can look back and he'd come back and get cheered. I think he could come back now and get cheered on pretty well. But
fan bases will forgive eventually. Sometimes I know Vince Carter. The Raptors really hated him for a while after he left, but they eventually retired his jersey, and now he's loved there again. So
Bill Buckner.
It can happen. Yeah.
Bill Buckner.
Yeah. Bill Buckner. I think it's just time. Where the Colts are right now, like I think there's probably some residual heat, and I still see it in comment sections quite a bit that they call him a quitter and everything. It's like, damn, man. Like, dude made a decision for his own personal health and well-being. And did it, but I don't know. When you look at it from playing wise, it's like it's tricky.
I mean, there's still people in Baltimore bitter about the Colts moving. I think you're always going to get the one or two.
Yeah, it's weird. It's super weird, even to this day, seeing people wear. It's just like it's weird seeing people in the number 12 jersey.
This is probably one of those ones where I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Like, I don't see it happening within the next 5 years if it does.
Yeah.
This is going to probably be some shock and surprise, and it's going to probably it'll probably have, I don't want to make it sound bad, but it might be some sort of like publicity stunt to get people in there in a way. Like, if they're doing bad, they're like, hey, guess what? Maybe you guys still love Andrew Luck, and we're going to retire his number. And then we're going to get you in. I mean,
you're not wrong,
though. Deserving of it, but it's one of those things where he made an impact on the franchise without a doubt. I mean, he turned that team around completely, but I don't know. It's one of those things, once again, where I'm looking at other names that the Colts have retired, and
he's just not there. He's just not there.
Peyton, Johnny Unitas, Buddy Young, Lenny Moore, Art Donovan, Jim Parker, Raymond Berry, and Gino Marchetti. Like, that is a legit list of straight Hall of Famers. And I think
he has they have a lot of Wall of Famers too. But as far as like retired jerseys and all that stuff, I don't think Andrew Luck is quite there. There's people who are like trying to get him into the Hall of Fame, and I'm just like, there's absolutely no way.
Well, I would get Sterling Sharp in there, but that's a different episode that Matt was already trying to jump the gun on.
But I don't know what you're talking about.
I think
let's hit our hockey team. We're gonna pull a Trevor Bryan here if we keep going.
Here we go. Pavel Datsyuk of the Detroit Red Wings.
This is gonna be my favorite part of the hockey ones. Is all these names I will not have. That sounds like a made up name to me.
Oh no, this guy's amazing. Played 14 years just with the Red Wings. I'll just read off his points. Did not have 1,000 points. He had only had 918 points. I know he led them to 2 Stanley Cups, 1-1. I'm going back and forth between these two here. Uh, just an exceptional player was him, and I would say Zetterberg were the faces of the franchise at this time. I did lead him to, like I said, he's a 2-time Stanley Cup champion. Oh yeah, they won in 2002. He was on that team. He was selected to the All-Star 4 times, and he is a 4-time Lady Bing winner. Good for him. If anybody doesn't know what the Lady Bing is, that's a sportsmanship award. And the Frank
very nice.
Trophy, 3 times Frank Selke Trophy. I do believe that is for the best defensive forward as well. I don't believe the Red Wings have been too kind. I know we were just talking about something along this thing. Too kind to their Russian players. Because there is another one that doesn't have his jersey.
Well, they should slow down.
Is in what's his name? In Sergei Fedorov does not have his number retired, but I gotta say Datsuk was the face of the franchise.
Well, I agree. With a name like that, who can go wrong?
Pavel.
It sounds like Datsuk sounds like a Scooby Doo sound when they're surprised by something. Datsuk.
I remember his name being in commentary for older NHL games. I'm kind of on the with a name like that, and if you, I feel like if you're the face of a franchise for a respectable amount of time, then you probably should get your jersey retired.
If Andrew says you're a face of a franchise, get your jersey retired. That's how I feel.
He was one of the, when I was not into hockey, he was one of the only Red Wings that I recognized, probably because I hate the Red Wings. But as I told my friend John when he mentioned Sergei Fedorov, I was like, listen, the 97 Stanley Cup finals are still fresh in my heart. Let's not go that far.
Sadly, not in mine. But what about baseball, Andrew?
Oh, yeah, I got to do baseball.
Yep. Back to back.
Next up is Matthew Stafford's best friend, Clayton Kershaw. So I do believe Clayton is still playing. He is just on, what do they call it? IR? Yes, he is. Or it's not the DL anymore. It's IL, the injured list or whatever. So he played his whole entire career as a Dodger from 2008 until still going. So he's like on his 17th year. Career ERA of 2.48, and he's accumulated 210 wins and 92 losses. Strikeouts, where are we at here? He's 2,944 strikeouts as well. Let's see where we're going. And some of the little accolades: 10-time All-Star, World Series champion in 2020, NL MVP in 2014, 3-time Cy Young winner, and a Triple Crown winner, a Gold Glove winner, and Roberto Clemente Award winner. But that's for like a sportsmanship as well in the community. 3-time NL wins leader, 5-time NL ERA winner, and 3 times NL strikeout leader, and pitched a no-hitter in 2014. That is Mr. Clayton Kershaw. This has been the ace for a while, and they've been over the past couple of years, because he is rather old now, even though that sounds terrible because I think he's younger than me. They've been kind of bringing him back on one-year deals and stuff like that. Now, like I think a lot of organizations, kind of like the Cardinals, the Dodgers have a very vast history of, just players with their numbers retired. That is the only thing that gets me on this one. But I think you can make a very good case.
Sounds like it to me.
Interesting. Clayton's he's a big deal, man. He's a big deal. But it also is tough. I mean, eventually you're going to run out of jersey numbers,
I'm a Celtics fan. I know.
right?
Oh, good God. I'm going to be sick over here.
I mean, the numbers that are
Um,
retired, a lot of Brooklyn Dodgers, not too many LA Dodgers, but still a historic franchise.
right.
And the last
Oh boy.
number it looks like they retired was Tommy Lasorda's number 2. Oh no, it was Gil Hodges in 2022, which that even probably
I'd say yes. I'm on the yes train, but also concerned for the amount of numbers that they have left. That's my only hold up.
Yeah.
That's
Good
my only
point.
hold up.
Good point. There's only so many 1 through 99 numbers you can have.
got 00 and 0.
That's true. That's true. All right. In the interest of keeping us going forward, I'll go next again. Let's go to the I can't believe this is one of his nicknames. The Slim Reaper himself. Kevin Durant is going to be the next one I'm bringing up here. He's going to be 36 this year, still in the league, still putting up numbers. He does have 2 championship rings. Probably a lot of people consider him one of the league's best, just pure, seemingly effortless scorers in league history, which I would probably agree with. But of course, the question would be, what team would do it if they do it? And another thing too is a lot of people hate on him for how he got his rings, which I get. I mean, he joined an already incredible team in the Warriors to get them, so I totally understand that. But also, I kind of think, guys, our generation is sort of the last one who cares about that. I think younger generations care less. They just care that he got the rings.
True.
Yeah.
But I submit to you that despite the fact that they did not win a championship with him, that the OKC team with him and Westbrook and Harden was really, really good. And they really put that team on the map when they had a while ever since they left Seattle of just being kind of useless. So I submit to you that maybe the Thunder would retire that jersey.
I think it's going to be the Warriors first.
But how many jerseys do they have retired? Probably a bunch.
I don't think they do.
The Warriors been around for longer than you think.
Who do they got? Wilt Chamberlain and Rick Barry?
That's 2 good ones right there. Steph will have his retired for sure. I don't have him on my list, but that's because I thought he was a surefire retiree there. Clay will probably have his despite this offseason.
Yeah.
I think the holdup with Durant, because him leaving OKC was pretty snaky. Like I remember that being a hot topic, right? There was like sadness. They were scraping his picture off like their stadium wall.
Yeah, he was definitely one of those where people were burning that jersey type of deal.
Because was Harden and Westbrook were still there, right?
Harden had been traded.
Yeah.
Harden had been traded.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Durant and Westbrook. I think him and Westbrook didn't talk for a long time. Ooh, that's another layer. I think I don't know, man. I think it would be the Warriors before OKC. I love the idea of his jersey getting retired in OKC, but I think the way that it ended, and I have a player here where it's might be a similar circumstance. I think that's going to be a holdup for a long time. Just because those OKC teams were so good, but just could not get they couldn't get past the Warriors. And
yeah, they were like the Utah Jazz of their time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it you know what I mean? And then once Durant left, OKC really, I mean, I'm not a basketball, expert, but from what I remember, they just kind of fell off a cliff and it was just Westbrook padding stats year in and year out.
Oh yeah. I mean, after that, he went on average the triple-double for a season.
Yeah.
Paul George was pretty good for them too as well. Those were the best Paul George years, actually, probably. Like when people considered him MVP, but that failed big three of Westbrook, Paul George, and Carmelo Anthony.
That's all right. He's on another big three now in 76ers. Let's see how that goes.
Yeah, the big injured list.
That's one of my favorite things that I saw is somebody put up had a picture. It was a picture of Embiid and Paul George and Tyrese Maxey, and it said, "Who's going to beat these three?" And then somebody had taken a picture and circled Embiid and Paul George's knees.
It's true. It's sad but true.
Yeah, I'd have to disagree with OKC. I think that's where you're really pushing for, though. But I think he belongs on as a retired jersey somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the Warriors first, and they did have more. They had Chamberlain, Rick Barry, Chris Mullin. Chris Mullin definitely 100% should have been up there, like Nate Thurman and guys like that. Nobody newer, I noticed, other than Chris Mullin, because well, they haven't really had anything since Clay.
I mean, they will after these current guys kind of retire, but yeah.
All
right. Hockey. I'm going to say real quick, in the interest of time, let's just do 5 this time, and then we'll have a part 2 and do the other 5. What do you guys think?
I only had 5 for each.
Yeah, that was the plan.
Yeah,
I had 10, so that works for me.
Yeah,
well, we said 5
each. We said 5 each.
That works. That works good. Never mind. I mean, let's go with the plan we already had.
Yeah.
Yay. I'm not the only one who didn't read. Yay.
Jeez. We're going to have meetings before this?
I have an excuse. I have a young child.
I know it's not a name.
I have an excuse. I'm incredibly immature.
He's still recovering from our panel discussion episode, so he's still woozy from whatever. That
I can't stress this enough. Do not go listen to the new one of that, please.
I am a boomer and I write things down. I believe it's Matt's turn.
Oh yeah, Matt.
Yes.
Football.
All right. So football. I'm going to go with a current player. He's probably a few years shy of retiring. He's currently 36, but he's like injured all the time. I'm going to go with Clayton Kershaw's good friend, Matthew Stafford, for this one. And this one's another interesting one because he had a lengthy career in Detroit where the team kind of floundered. You know, he won some games. He did a lot of put up a lot of good numbers. He brought the team to the playoffs a few times, I think twice. But then he got traded as the Lions were trying to rebuild and went to the Rams and won a Super Bowl his first year. And they've been, as long as he's been upright, they've been a playoff team every single year. So let me, so he sports the number 9. He spent 12 years in Detroit with a 74-90-1 record with 45,109 passing yards, 282 touchdowns, 144 interceptions. He was comeback player of the year in 2011, and I think he's got he has a Pro Bowl in 2014 with the Lions. But as far as being in with the Rams, 3 seasons with the Rams, there was 1 year where he got hurt, but he has a 24-17 record with 10,938 passing yards, 75 touchdowns, 36 interceptions. And a Pro Bowl and a one-time Super Bowl champ, and that was the 2020 season. So it occurred in 2021 against the Bengals. Stafford's an interesting one because he was the guy in Detroit for so long, and he just kind of up and boogied and found success. But the Detroit fans really booed the crap out of him last time he was there for the playoff game. I think they're playing. I think Detroit and the Rams are playing Week 1 as well, so that should be interesting. But what say you guys? If any place retired, where do you think you Detroit or the Rams?
The way I want to say the Rams first, but then again, I think there's some names on the Rams, and they all seem to were there for quite a while, except for Eric Dickerson. So, and he left on bad terms.
Yeah. But
Detroit, I could see it. Detroit loves those guys that were when they were kind of like the lovable losers. I mean, and he was that almost that face in there until Megatron got there, and they retired Barry Sanders. They retired Billy Sims, or they were the same number. Sorry, my bad.
It's
I
so
should have
tough with
known that.
yeah.
Uh, I mean, I think they retired Bobby Lanes. That's huge because he supposedly cursed them.
It's tough because like Megatron is like a shoe in first
Yeah,
ballot Hall of Fame receiver. Barry Sanders
for
was a first ballot running back, in one of the top guys. But Stafford's like put up good stats, but he's never been. And I think this is my argument for the Hall of Fame one
the
because
guy.
Tom Brady, I think Tom Brady ruined the quarterback, like the how we view Hall of Fame quarterbacks. I think he ruined it, and and maybe just set the bar too high. But Stafford's never really been the guy.
I think Peyton did a bad job, did a good job of screwing that up for everybody too. I'm not. If you look at Peyton as well,
You're
uh,
probably right.
uh, you know what? Looking at it, and then when I thought of Megatron, I think this is another guy like 10 years or so down the line, like 10 years after he retires, maybe the Lions,
Yeah.
the Rams. I'm not too sure because weren't they just trying to trade the guy too?
No, they wanted somebody to replace Goff. They wanted a good quarterback and I mean both teams ended up winning the trade if you think about it, but
Well, didn't they? Weren't they shopping Stafford last year or something? I heard.
no, not from what I understood. I
Oh,
think it was a rumor, but nothing official.
okay. Yeah,
I
because
remember we are starting now.
her I almost said the, the man. Does he get his number retired with the Rams? But even when you look at he's never been the face really for that long of a time.
Yeah, so I think it'd be Detroit more so than anything.
Yeah, because if you look at the Rams, I don't know if he's on your list. I may spoil it. Aaron Donald. He's
No, that's a no-brainer.
okay. Yeah, he's 99. He's on there. And then if you go to Detroit, he seems to be second to each one when you're looking at, in my mind, of retiring numbers. You go to Detroit, it's Megatron over Matthew Stafford before getting their number retired, and it's Aaron Donald before Matthew Stafford getting their number. I would even put Cooper Kupp above Matt Stafford to get a number retired.
I agree. So I'm leaning towards Detroit.
Yeah. And that's probably down the line.
Oh, down the Detroit Lion.
Yes. Down 8 Mile.
Oh, that's where I got that vomit on my sweater already.
Mom spaghetti.
Yeah. How'd you know? All right, now we're going to hockey.
Now we're going to hockey. This is a homer pick for Matt and I in this way. This is a shout out to my friend John Kazera who brought this up. And it's maybe because I lived through this era of Buffalo Sabres hockey and I know what he was, but thinking about it, looking at the Matt Stafford thing, it's kind of in the same second fiddle type thing, is Alexander Mogilny. Played 6 seasons with the Sabres. I'm saying he should get his jersey retired with the Sabres. Played 6 seasons with the Sabres, scored 444 points. It looks like he has an all-star selection as well. Now, what gets me on this one is this guy really helped kind of spark things in Buffalo, especially in 92, 93, when he scored 127 points. And then he stayed 2 more years and then was traded to Vancouver in 95, 96. But he was like, him and Pat LaFontaine are two people that I think if you ask a casual hockey fan around this time, those are the two guys that they're going to think of when they think of the Sabres. I could be a bias because, like I said, I grew up during this time of Alexander Mogilny. And also, what is funny about this as well is they had an argument on the local Buffalo sports radio station, WGR. Don't listen to it. Uh, on who was the greatest player to play for a Buffalo team that wore 89. Is it McGillivray or Steve Tasker? And I feel like if you're going to do an argument between those two, you got to look at retiring his number. And I don't believe the Sabres have very few retired numbers. I think LaFontaine, Tim Horton, and then the
Yeah.
Oh, I love his restaurants.
That's what he is. That's Tim Horton.
That's a joke because we don't
your
have
joke backfired on you.
It did not. We don't have those down here
because he does have restaurants or coffee shops.
I think when you look at the Sabre standard, then probably not. But there's a lot of other teams who do retire jerseys relatively frequently, and that I think he would be up in just about any other place except for Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? There's a little bit lower, like a lower standard in other spots, but I could see the argument for it. But the Sabres apparently have a very high standard for retired jerseys.
It's one of those things that baffle me. It's because you put LaFontaine, you put Ryan Miller. I know they didn't get that far. I personally, but like I said, I lived through that time. I would say retire
it. Yeah, I'm on the fence. Like morally, me, I'd be like, yeah, do it. But then you kind of have to look at it from the Sabres history, every team's history with doing such a thing. But I'm split. I'm split. I'm split on it.
Johnny?
I have no opinion. Let's go baseball. I'm trying to rush this. I got lunch coming soon.
My baseball player is Miguel Cabrera, and I'm going to say the Detroit Tigers. Played 16 years with the Tigers, had 2,332 hits. That's runs. I'm sorry. No, that doesn't make sense. Don't worry about hits. He hit 511 home runs and almost had 1,900 RBIs. Oh no, he had 2,332 hits. Yeah, that is correct with the Detroit Tigers. He is also a Triple Crown winner, and at one point, I did hear
he won 3 horse races.
No, he led. He led the. You guys know what the Triple Crown is, right? And
yeah, it's the horse race thing. Yeah,
you know what? No, for real, you know what it is.
The Secretariat did it.
It's you lead the league in average home runs and runs batted and RBIs. He's a he didn't win a World Series with them. He's 12-time All-Star, 2-time MVP, 7-time Silver Slugger, 2-time Hank Aaron Award, 2-time Batting Champ, 2-time Home Run Champ, and 2-time RBI Champ. He also did lead them, like I said, to I think 1 or 2 World Series as well.
Would there be any argument against him? This sounds like a no-brainer to me.
Yeah,
really I'm all in on this one.
There's really none. I just looking for names, and I like to say Miggy.
Well, we all agree should get that jersey retired. I'm going to just go to basketball now. I'm just going to tell you these stats real quick. And just based on these stats, I'm not even going to tell you the name. You guys tell me if this person gets their jersey retired by a team. They've only played with one team. I'll give you that stat right now. 3-time MVP, 4-time All-NBA first team, Finals MVP, 2-time NBA second team. He has a Western Conference Finals MVP. He made the All-Rookie first team. And famously, he was drafted during a Taco Bell commercial, which I think I'm getting for lunch today. Let's go Jokic, the Joker. I present to you, even if he retired this offseason, because we all know that basketball is like his day job.
He hates his job.
That is still one of my favorite skits that I've seen. That guy, Andrew, did you share that with me? Where this guy is pretending to be Nikola Jokic during basketball season. He just hates playing basketball, but he's good at it. It's really funny. But I submit to you, even if he decided to retire now, this guy gets his jersey retired by the Nuggets.
Yeah, I definitely have to say so. I'm on the kind of outside looking in when it comes to basketball, but I mean everything. Every time I hear basketball, his name is constantly being brought up as one of the best players of this generation. So I have to agree.
Definitely gonna be one of the best second round picks ever. That's for sure.
I think it's him and Murray definitely because they delivered the first championship.
Yeah,
I think that's the biggest thing right there.
Yeah, and he's constantly, while he's in his prime, been considered one of the top 3 players in the league. So, and my favorite player to watch, one of the best big man passers since Sabonis that we've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm all in on this guy.
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. I'm glad if I would have ended the show if you didn't agree with me.
If he didn't win a championship, I would have been on the fence. I'm not even going to lie.
I get it. The championship definitely helps his credentials for sure. All right, Matt, let's go football.
All right, football. Johnny's getting real pushy. All right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm looking forward to lunch.
All right, I'm gonna go Marshawn Lynch. We are doing 5, right?
Yes.
We agreed on 5. Okay, Marshawn Lynch. He's played with a number of different teams. Drafted by the Bills, Seattle Seahawks. He had one of the most famous moments where they upset the Saints in the playoffs with a Beastquake. And he'll spend some time, a couple years with the Raiders, even though that was short lived. But his time with Seattle was very iconic. One of the biggest Super Bowl what ifs is why didn't Pete Carroll run him up the middle instead of having Russ throw it in the end zone, cost them Super Bowl? But I think maybe he should be retired with Seattle, even though their standards are very, very high. They only have a few numbers retired. But his rushing, he has 6,381 rushing yards with the Seahawks. He has 58 touchdowns with them as well. 58 rushing touchdowns. He also has 8 receiving touchdowns with the Seahawks. So, just because Marshawn is Marshawn, and I think he was the face of the team before Russ got there, before the Legion of Boom. I'd have to go in with Marshawn getting in with the Raiders.
With the Raiders?
Or sorry, with the Seahawks.
Okay.
I'm trying to rush here. Jesus Christ.
This is my fault.
Sorry to do the Chris Berman where I was like, Raiders? I think later on he gets in with the Seahawks. I mean, looking at who the Seahawks have in Ken Easley, Walter Johnson, Steve Largent, and Cortez Kennedy, you're looking at some big Seahawk names, but I think in a way he'll get in because of fan pressure. And I think he was more of a fan favorite than Russell Wilson. Plus, too, how Russell Wilson left. Kind of
they hate Russ.
All right.
So,
yeah, I think he gets in. I mean, for sure.
On to Johnny's favorite sport.
Hockey.
All right. This is the next one. Funny back-to-back kind of Buffalo things. This guy was born in Buffalo and beat up a cab driver there. Patrick Kane.
Cab drivers' lives matter.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember hearing about that, Matt.
I don't.
Maybe. Yeah, you supposedly beat up a cab driver. So Patrick Kane, this is for the.
Have you seen those rates though? Have you seen those cab driving rates?
You know what?
I would want to fight one too.
They're probably getting cheaper than the lifts and stuff now, though.
This is a couple
they're
years
keeping
ago.
their price.
My wife took a cab from the airport. It cost $60, and when she took an Uber there, it was like $40.
Oh wow!
So, I guess Patrick didn't like it too much, but this is with him with the Chicago Blackhawks. Just going to read off his points. He's got 1,225 points scored with the Chicago Blackhawks. I believe 3 Stanley Cups. I mean, this guy, once again, another kind of like face of the team, a Calder. So he won Rookie of the Year, multiple All-Star appearances, and a Conn Smythe, which is the MVP of the finals, and Art Ross, another prestigious trophy for leading the points. He's got an MVP. I'll just tell you what they are. An MVP instead of saying the names. An MVP, and then he also made NHL's 2010's All-Decade First Team as well. It's Patrick Kane, in my heart, the second greatest number 88 to ever play the game behind Eric Lindros.
Yeah, I would have to say yes for Patrick Kane. He's made a very big name for himself. Outside of here, I remember being in high school rooting for him because he was from the area. I think Salamanca. I think was his high school. I think he's Salamanca, or one of those South Towns ones. But yeah, I'm all in on Patrick Kane getting some love in a Jersey retirement.
Johnny,
I mean, I love his candy canes, so I'm all for it. I don't have any family members who ever drove a cab, so I guess I'm okay saying I'm cool with him getting in.
By God, it's got to be Patrick Kane.
All right, for doing baseball, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Baseball next is Jimmy Rollins and the Philadelphia Phillies. This man did win a World Series with them. His hits, he played 15 years with, I didn't think it was that long. 15 years with the Philadelphia Phillies, accumulating 2,306 hits. Not much of a home run guy at 216. He is more of a batting average guy, and he batted 267 with them as well. Led him to a 2 World Series as well. As I said, he only won one. 3-time All-Star, an NL MVP, 4-time Gold Glove winner, a Silver Slugger Award winner, Roberto Clemente, and stolen base leader.
I think anytime that you have a lengthy career with one team, that says something. What you mean to that team for one. I automatically think like Reggie Miller, right? Like he played forever with the Indiana Pacers, so obviously the Pacers are going to retire that jersey. So I kind of think the same goes here. 15 years with one team is incredible.
Yeah, I think a 10+ run with any team is kind of like a shoe-in because just how much moving parts happens in pro sports, especially nowadays.
Yeah,
I'd have to say yeah.
Yes, so we agree. All right, I'm going to give a controversial one here to make it more interesting. This guy's stat, because I'm just going to give you his stats first. His career stats so far. He's still currently playing, but his points, this is his career stats, 8.7 points per game, 5.5 assists per game, 7 boards a game. Well, let me give you his accolades after that, though. This is where it gets interesting. If my phone would cooperate, that's the button I hit. Thank you. Please do it. ESPN site is really finicky sometimes. All right, here we go. 4-time all-defensive second team, 4-time all-defensive first team. My phone reset itself. There we go. Defensive player of the year, all-NBA third team, all-NBA second team. And he's multiple championships. I'm talking he punched a guy so hard that he forgot how to play basketball. I'm talking about Draymond Green.
He gets his number retired.
He's kicked multiple balls, not just the basketball guy.
He's up there with Clay and with Clay and Steph. They're getting their numbers retired. That's the greatest area in Warriors history, and that was their big three.
Yeah, but his stats are not the greatest. That's the only reason I brought it up.
Yeah, but I think sometimes it's a meaning to the team as well.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree there. I think he gets retired too. I just think it's he's a more fascinating one because he's by far the most controversial of the big three.
Yeah, that's where I was getting to the Stafford. It's not so much is he going to be the first, like in a way? But most likely it is going to happen. But how far down the line is it going to happen? And I think when it comes that Steph, the minute he's retired, he's gonna retires next year. They're gonna probably retire his number.
Yeah.
Play a little bit longer, and I think Draymond's going to be the final one, unless I don't think they're all going to retire at the same time. Unless that happens, then you retire all three together. You raise, get some ticket prices, and prices go crazy on SeatGeek.
I think the second that Steph retires, Draymond Green's out of Golden State's like, how we've had enough of Draymond Green. I mean, he literally punched Jordan Poole so hard that Jordan Poole does not know how to play basketball anymore.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
It happens.
Does it?
It happens.
But yeah, ultimately, I think he's in.
Yeah.
All right. So football next. My fourth one is going to be a very controversial one, but we're going to talk about Antonio Brown with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Played there from 2011 to 2018. He would have a brief stint in New England and then 2 years in Tampa Bay before running off the Jets field with his clothes off. But yeah, for Pittsburgh, he had played in 130 games. He had 11,207 receiving yards, 837 catches, and 74 touchdowns. It ended bad. He shit on Big Ben. He crapped on Mike Tomlin. It was not a fun exit, and it just happened for no reason. And he actually missed a game.
Pretty sure I've seen his penis.
We all have.
I have not. Okay, so I'm the only one here.
He was in a pool one time.
Oh yeah.
I have an easy one for this. He never gets his number retired. For the simple fact, like you were looking at for other teams with who kind of like and how it goes, the Steelers have 3 numbers retired.
Right.
And only 2 of those guys played for those 70s teams when you have way more players from those 70 teams plus Big Ben that are most likely going to get their number retired over Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
Not because of what he contributed to the team, but because of his antics towards that, where a lot of people are going to look at it and say, why are we retiring this guy's number when you still have Terry Bradshaw, Lynn Swan, John Stallworth, Jack Lambert? Like there's just way too many names. Big, Ben Roethlisberger, Jerome Bettis. I just feel like there's too many names. And the standard seems to be way too high.
Yeah, and probably for a good reason too. But yeah, I always thought it was an interesting one because people, wondered if he would ever get on Steelers fans' good graces someday, and it's not looking good. I think he just filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah,
couldn't have happened to a nicer guy, but he's like the Draymond Green of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like they couldn't wait to get rid of him. He's kind of an a-hole, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, I'm kind of in that same boat. But again, statistically, he's probably one of the greatest wide receivers of all time.
Yeah, I give you that. It's just there's too many names. Like Stafford, there's really nobody in front of him. But with Brown, there's too many names.
Right.
Yeah.
So we are back on to hockey with Anze Kopitar. He also has the nickname Raccoon Jesus. I did not know that. Did not know that. Anze Kopitar. He is 18 years with the Los Angeles Kings. Do believe he is still going strong there as well. In 18 years, he has 1,211 points. 2 or 3 Stanley Cup victories as well. I do believe he wore the captaincy there. Let's see, 5 All-Star games. His awards are the Frank Selke Defensive Player Sportsman Award, another Selke Messier Leadership Award. He's got 2 cups with them as well. And that is Mr. Anze Kopitar, who seemed to be always a strong driving force in my mind during those cup wins that the Kings had.
I mean, again, 18 years with one team, that sells it for me.
And
yeah, it's pretty much a gimme for me.
Yeah, because the Kings were not totally awesome after Gretzky left. He's actually won more cups with the Kings than Wayne Gretzky.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, you got to retire it. Retire it.
All right. Baseball. Jose Altuve, second baseman for the Houston Astros, still playing there. A little bit of controversy for their first World Series win. But as of right now, he is still going strong, and he's only 34 years old. This is kind of a joker thing. If he was retired today, would he get his jersey retired? Let's see. So 14 years, he's got 2,156 hits. He's definitely not a home run guy, but 222, and he's batting 307 with the Houston Astros. The only thing is he does have that cheating scandal on him for the 2017 World Series. He did win another one in 2022, and he was the MVP in 2017. A Gold Glove, 6 Silver Sluggers, 3-time batting champ, 2-time stolen base winner, and even Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year.
Oh man, despite cheating, that's impressive.
In 2017, when the Astros were cheating.
Well, Hitler made Time's Man of the Year at one time.
That is correct.
That's an extreme comparison.
And the other thing that's good for Jose Altuve is the Astros were in disarray for a long time, and then all of a sudden they started getting really good. And once again, he kind of became that catalyst and that guy that they hang their hat on for them to lead them through that time in the face of the franchise.
Well, I think if you're just going from the accolades you say, yeah, sure, he definitely should get his jersey retired, but the whole cheating thing makes it a little weird, doesn't it?
Remind me what the cheating deal was. Like, what was it about?
So it was sign stealing. So they would have a guy.
That's a coaching thing, though, right? You can't really put that on a player.
No, but the players will know because they would steal the catcher's. From what I understand, 100%, they would steal the catcher's sign, and if it was a certain pitch, I believe a changeup, they would bang on a trash can. So if you go back and watch videos of the Astros in 2017, all of a sudden at random times you just hear somebody banging on a trash can. So you had a guy in the outfield, they would look in, steal the sign, and then I think it was transferred through Apple Watches or something, and did it through that way.
I think it's kind of innovative.
Like, baseball is probably one of the most holiest of holiest sports when it comes to it.
Yes.
Like, it's very hard to get baseball into the times. I know I was pissed off yesterday when I went to the Rangers game and I saw cheerleaders, and I was just naming off old baseball players going, they wouldn't like this. I was like, John McGraw, you wouldn't like this.
This sounds like
Tommy Lasorda.
That sounds like when in my church they brought drum sets and my grandpa walked out. So
there you go. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Okay.
I get it.
Like, I was actually a little bit irritated until I got some beers in me, and then I kind of enjoyed the cheerleaders. I'm not gonna lie. But I was irritated.
But you don't think cheerleaders at a baseball game.
No, but I understand what they're trying to do. I mean, but baseball is always better when you watch it live.
Very true. Yes.
So
I'm fine with it. If it's the Astros retiring his jersey, right? This is the whole debate. Then I think it's a no problem. Hall of Fame, then it gets a little complicated.
Yeah. Agreed.
But yeah, I'm all for a jersey retirement for him.
All right. I'm going to give one more controversial guy to end mine here because I think these are more fascinating to talk about. Kyrie Irving. Let's talk some Kyrie Irving here.
Ooh.
His stats are, for his career so far, 23.6 points per game, over a steal a game, 5.7 assists. And this is impressive to me because he's not a big guy. He's getting over 4 rebounds a game for his career. That's actually pretty impressive. His He's a two-time NBA third team. He's made the second team. He's also has a All-Star MVP, Rookie of the Year, All Rookie first team, and he does have a championship under his belt. So, quite a controversial figure, though. I do think he's been doing a lot better when it comes to controversies here recently. But I'm very curious what Andrew thinks, considering his run with the Celtics wasn't necessarily something they like to talk about.
I completely forgot about those. Only 3 teams. I definitely know it's not going to be the Celtics.
No, for sure not the Celtics.
You know it's not going to be the Nets. I don't think he gets anything. Maybe the huge maybe in Cleveland.
That's what I'm thinking. If he gets it anywhere, it would be Cleveland, and even that's I don't know.
Unless Dallas wants to do something where they work it into his contract, like
he would have to win a championship with Dallas. I know, in my opinion.
I know there was a huge rumor, like when I sent over Matt the Wade Boggs with the Rays, there was a huge rumor that the only reason why the Rays signed Wade Boggs was because Wade Boggs promised to go into the Hall of Fame as a Ray, so the Rays could say that they had somebody in the Hall of Fame. Like they even retired Wade Boggs' jersey. They only played 2 years with them. So unless the Mavericks work that in, I know my coworker Landon's probably like, you're just a Kyrie hater. You're just a Kyrie hater. I don't think he gets his jersey retired by any team. And it's
I'm on the fence. He's like one of those upper echelon guys, but I don't know if he's ever like been like jersey retirement guy. Like, and you guys probably know this more than I do. Does Rodman have his jersey retired anywhere?
Maybe Detroit.
Yeah, he's pretty pivotal in those Bulls teams too.
Yeah. That's kind of where Kyrie kind of ranks. He's like a good sidekick, but he's never been the guy.
He's I think he's retired for the NWO.
I found that action figure somewhere at a flea market for $5.
Worth it.
Tremendous.
Is it
so good?
So when he got his jersey retired with the MWO, was it for life?
Yep.
So he's not retired with the Bulls.
That's pretty wild to me. Well, I mean, he was also a controversial guy.
Yeah.
Pistons. Let's see. He has his number retired with the Pistons.
He does. Okay. Yeah. But there's just, I don't know. Kyrie's never been the guy. That's my argument.
Hey, but my argument would be if we're going to go for him for Cleveland, he did hit one of the biggest shots in Cleveland's basketball history.
Right.
Yeah, but when
and just as looking at it from a pure handles how he was with the basketball, he's probably one of the best ever when it comes to that.
Yeah, but I think jersey retired is what you did with the team, not.
Oh, I agree.
With your skills, and I don't think Kyrie gets it because, in a way, he's the Robin. Like, yeah, he was there alone in Cleveland for a while, and he hit the biggest shot, but everybody's just gonna remember that as the LeBron championship.
Yeah.
I don't think too many people are going to remember the shot. It's just going to be the LeBron championship. And once again, I'll probably have people saying I'm a Kyrie hater. I'm not a Kyrie hater. It's just, there's guys like Kyrie, and I know I said the Warriors will trade or retire Kevin Durant's, jersey, and I know Chris Webber probably got his, but I put Kyrie in that Chris Webber, Kevin Durant type mold where unless they got another big star player around them, they don't seem like they have the winning edge.
Yeah, I do think he's one who needs another person for sure. I don't feel he would be one who could drag. He's not like an Allen Iverson who literally dragged the 76ers along, that type of thing. I definitely agree there. I think overall, you're both right. I am not at all a Kyrie hater. I think he's a phenomenal talent for sure. and he definitely helped Dallas this year. You cannot say otherwise. When Luka, him and Luka were actually figured out how to be a really good tandem there. But he's moved around from too many teams for one, and if any of them would ever do it, it would be Cleveland. But even then, it would maybe like, let's say Cleveland goes on a stretch where they're like nobody ever talks about them. Maybe then they'll be like, well, we need something here. So
yeah, it's gonna be I hate to lump him in there, but it's gonna be like an Andrew Luck thing.
Yeah.
And it might just be a Kyrie night.
Because you can just look at his stats, and his stats are really good. And you can just look at his talent. His talent is obviously phenomenal. But, what does he mean to teams that he's been on?
Not too much.
Because he doesn't stay very long.
No. Or he does something nutsy.
Yeah.
He's, what do I call him?
Nutsy. And you, not Nazi. Just want to make sure we got that.
I call him Kyrie West.
Yes. I would agree with that. There for a while, he was in the headlines a lot, and it was never for basketball.
All right. Matt, who do you got?
Okay. So my last one, I'm pretty sure it's not retired, but it's Tom Brady. Now, obviously not with the Patriots because they just retired it. They just retired it, but with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I like this one.
Yeah. I found this one intriguing because it was such a short stint, but it's super impactful. Like Tampa went from just dog crap to really good. 2020 to 2022, he played with them. 32-18 record, 1,376 completions, 14,643 passing yards, 108 touchdowns, and 33 INTs. Cleaned up. They had a good roster already, but they just needed the quarterback position cemented. And he won the division twice, and then he won the Super Bowl in it would have been the 2020. That was the 2021. Where they beat KC, and they were the first team to win the Super Bowl at home or play in a Super Bowl at their own home stadium and win one. So he's had a heck of a run, and Tampa's got a few retired jerseys, I think. A lot of the 90s guys.
They got it's Derek Brooks, Leroy Solomon, and Warren Sapp.
Yeah. So, where do you put Brady? I kind of think he deserved, if Tampa wants to kind of get the rub from it, I would kind of throw him up there if I could.
This is a LeBron Lakers situation in my mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think though, because I think the Glazer family seemed like they really, really liked Tom. I mean, they did re-sign all those guys and kind of put them into cap hell a little bit in a way over the years. I think at some point they'll probably retire it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Brady's one of the GOATs for sure. And he came to your team and brought you a Super Bowl. I mean, to me, that's probably worth it just enough right there for your team, right?
Yeah, I think so. I would think so. Came in there, Tampa Bay was like that team for a little while, and even still, they're playing. They're kind of they're a respectable team again, and it hasn't been that way in probably over a decade. It probably wasn't a respectable team like a decade prior to them,
right?
To Brady showing up. He got the kind of ball rolling for the Bucks. So yeah, I'm kind of in on that one. Like if you had the GOAT, why wouldn't you try to put his name? Why wouldn't you try to put his name on there? So
yeah, agreed.
So, I'm the last one. This is a goalie for hockey. Nashville Predators, Pekka Rinne. Hopefully I'm saying that right. So his let's see, his goals against average in a 15 career with the Nashville Predators was 2.43. So very good. Save percentage 917, and he had 369 wins to 213 losses. His awards, he was the best awarded the best goalie in the league in 2017, 2018. Led him to, I believe, their only Stanley Cup appearance as well. And it was pretty much like the guy and considered definitely a top 5 goalie in the league.
I mean, if you lead your team to its highlight of the team, I think it kind of helps your status there. In my opinion, like if any player had ever led the Hornets to even sniffing the conference finals, I'd be like, let's retire that jersey.
As a Celtics fan, we don't have that problem. We got to wait until you win one.
I'm sorry, I got a little sick there. I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Was it because of all the champagne from the Celtics winning?
No, they got in my eyes and I'm blind now. Which is great because I don't have to watch any Celtics games.
Oh, I'm totally wrong with Pekka Renee. I just read it and I totally screwed up. I should have did more research. He did have his jersey retired in 2022.
Well, then we were right.
So let's just skip this one. And
we don't have to skip it. We were right. It just confirms how good we are at this. Wait, Matt didn't actually say. Matt, do you think he should have his jersey retired?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I should have did more research on that one. I think I jumped the gun because I was like, who can I think of in hockey? And I was like, oh, and then I maybe went off of an older list of jerseys that weren't retired.
You know what the beautiful thing about this moment is?
We
all messed up on this episode in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, that's what we do. That's us.
Why I don't promote this show that much because this is the mess up show.
But we did it. We did it. We did something.
Yes. And now we can all go off and do what we got to do.
No, we got another show to record.
We got another show to record.
Fair. That is fair. All right. Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you for the opportunity. Sorry it was started off really rough, but if we do that Hall of Fame episode, I would like to join you for that.
All right, for sure. We'll have you on for that. Big shout out to Matt for joining us. Make sure you go check out make sure you go check out all of Matt's stuff there, his pages he was talking about. You can find him on Instagram and on Facebook.
And with that being said, good morning, good afternoon, and good night.